hour just got started. I hope you have your favorite beverage, whether it's a mocktail or a cocktail, because we're just getting going here at the Lou Information Station. LouInfo.com. You can watch us virtually and you can stream it 24/7. Of course, if you're driving around and you want to flip the radio on, you can turn to the new KLIS 590 AM and catch us there. Yesterday was quite the day. We had technical malfunctions with our virtual interview. I felt like the Verizon commercial, can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
That's when someone just cuts the show and you come back a few minutes later.
Yeah.
I feel like Casual Friday. And then the wall just, our sign just fell down from the sky. I just had to catch it. So
that's okay though, because Saturday Night Live, the lights fell down.
On their first show?
On their first show. Yeah.
Okay.
But it wasn't our first show. But
it wasn't our first show.
First month.
We've had our own growing glitches since the first day.
A lot of growing
So
pains.
today I brought brandy and whiskey just in case we have another day like yesterday. So after we left the show, we found a new hotspot. And maybe you already know about it, but we were in terrible need of a margarita or something after yesterday. And we found Trace, what's it called? I should at least know the name if I'm going to tell you about a new place.
Oh my gosh.
Tres Kings, right?
Well, it stands for kings. So what is Spanish for kings?
Well, you know what? We're going to have to get back to you on this place. Gordon's going to Google
even know where
it.
my phone
it's
is.
on
It's in my back
Manchester, and
pocket.
it's right across from the Village Bar, which has amazing cheeseburgers,
Yes.
which we found that location as well. Being here on Manchester, there's everything. But it's actually the people that own Three Kings, right? That's the name of the restaurant. The same owners opened up a Mexican restaurant, and apparently they're opening one in Cottleville in St. Charles. And I'm not sure of the other location, but I did find out about Cottleville.
1181 Collindale Center to Pair.
Right off of Manchester, but
Yes.
I guess they're calling it the street within there. But the margarita was incredible. I like margaritas and I don't like margaritas because if they make it too sour
It was
or
perfect.
too tart or too sweet, I just can't drink it.
got
But
something in
that
my
was
eye.
just like, got that? Can I help
Yes.
you?
I was like Olive
Keep
over here
rubbing-
going, oh,
Start
it's
doing
gotta
your
go.
ears in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, the food, like that was not microwaved food. That was not canned food. Everything must be made from
The
scratch
rice
because it was
not dried out.
the whole bowl. Everything was warm. It wasn't like you hit a cold
perfect.
spot.
And we
Our
went there.
tacos
Did
were
you say why we went
fabulous.
there?
We went there. We went there because we knew we needed a cocktail, not a mocktail, and we were going to try out a new Mediterranean cafe called, I think, Tzatziki, which is on
right next
Manchester.
door.
And we looked at the menu, and there was no alcoholic beverages. So we decided that we would try out the Mexican food, and it was good. And their salsa. So if you're a big salsa person, the salsa's kind of sweet when you take that first bite,
Sweet
and then it
with a
kicks
kick.
into gear
Yeah.
once you swallow it, and then it's extremely addicting. But great service.
And then when we got there, they were like, "Oh, we're extremely busy."
It was
because
packed.
It's like everybody came over from. Oh my gosh!
You're going to do well today, aren't you?
Oh my gosh! What is the name of that place?
Rosalita's.
Rosalita's.
I'm here for you
Trying
today.
something, but Rosalita's apparently had a fire yesterday
right.
and had to shut down for the day. Hopefully they're back open today.
So everybody try. So hopefully they got a lot of new customers that maybe hadn't been there that tried out the food because they were hungry for Mexican, so found the next best place, I guess, for it. So we want to tell you about today. We've got a great show going on. It's going to be bringing the tail-wagging vibes to the citywide buzz here today. Paul Dinkins, he is the visionary behind the Commons. A lot of these workplaces, workspaces are opening up, in different cities where you don't have to office in your home, and then they have all kinds of different things to offer your employees to be able to work in a great environment. He's going to be coming in talking about what they're doing, some events going on. Kari and Scott Montgomery, and no, we're not related. They're not our sister or brother. I'm Kelly Lamb, Gordon Montgomery there. People are like, you guys related? No, we are not.
Nope.
But they are the passionate founder of Canine Innovations, and they're going to talk to us about pet wellness, supplements, and what inspired them to make this big leap from what they used to do. Of course, we've got Logan Janis from Mostly Superheroes. He's going to check in with what's hot and what is binge-worthy here today. And then Cat Mues, of course, returns with the scoop on what's rocking in your city and your backstage pass to STL's coolest bands around town. Now we get to the fun part, the question of the day. If your pet could talk, what is the first thing that it would say about you?
I can see you guys.
You know I'm watching.
I'm watching.
Oh my, the things that, good thing all they can do is bark
Really?
and growl.
I was just laying here.
And you guys just came in. Where's when's dinner? Louis, actually our little one, literally at the same time every single night before the sun goes down, our dogs love to ride in the golf cart. Love to ride in the golf cart.
It's like they have this sense of time.
Yes, and they lose their mind. I mean, Louis just starts barking, and until you get the golf cart keys and start to shake them, he like is losing. As soon as they get in the golf cart, they are just their heads and they're smelling. They're so excited to go for a golf cart ride. I call it the buggy
And it's
ride.
crazy because Olive loves golf cart rides, but if you put her in a car, she just like
It's
clams
like we're
up and like,
torturing her. Yeah.
what did you do to me?
I don't know if it's the fresh air, because even if we tried putting her in the front seat and opened down the windows and still
She's like, it's like she's holding on.
for dear life. Louis, if he could talk, all we would hear all day long, I love you, mommy, I love you, mommy, I love you, mommy,
my
I
gosh.
love you, mommy.
So here's the crazy thing. Kelly's had this dog for what, 17 years,
Yeah,
pretty much.
a
Got
long time.
it
It's
as a
real.
gift at one of the charity events.
I didn't mean for that to happen.
But this dog, and I'm not kidding you, this dog is like separation anxiety even after 1 second. It's like, where did she go? Where did she go? He'll run up the stairs, he'll run down the stairs, he'll run, sometimes running him in the basement. He'll try to look out the back door, see it wherever she is. And sometimes what's even crazy is the dog when Kelly's car is in the garage and Kelly's not home, the dog will literally run out to the garage, go up to her car, at her door, sniff her door, and scratch at her door. I literally have to open the car door to show Louis that you're not there, so Louis will not freak
Is that
out
how you
anymore.
feel when I come home?
Yeah.
You wagging your tail. The other day, though. Okay, so this one will really.
No, you got to quit telling all the secrets.
No,
okay?
it's this one's actually not bad about. This one's actually not you this time.
Okay, good. Okay.
When Louis, when he found out I was home, so they were already home. Louis out in the backyard doing his thing, right? He's got to do his little stuff. And I pull up, and he knows that I'm home, and he's running and going to the bathroom at the same time.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It was the most hilarious thing. He looked like a center of a football team trying to hike the ball and run 50 yards. It's like,
Yeah, he was leaving a trail behind him, but he made it in. Poor little
hilarious.
guy. So let's see. So Laura says she keeps us calm during the storms and fireworks. That's a sweet one. I love you, mommy and daddy. Miranda Malone, her dog would say that she's crazy and annoying.
thanks for letting me live here.
Thanks for letting me live here. I will read some more of you as we move along today. Chris Dorsey, though, this one's a funny one. Where have you been? It's been 3 minutes since the last time I saw you.
That's Louis.
Isn't that funny about dogs?
Yeah.
I mean, if you walk out the front door to grab something and come back in, because they do have a memory, because there are things that they do that's like, how the world did they remember that and know that? But you walk out the door and come back in, it's like, hey, I'm so excited. Where have you been? And it's just for like a hot second.
It is funny.
Anyway, we'll read some more of you as we move along here today. So, did you?
Dan Mears.
Yeah.
Who is Dan Mears?
I don't know.
Dan Mears served 4 years as Truman the Tiger at Mizzou and was named the top overall college mascot in the country in 1989. But here's what's even more important about Dan Mears. Dan Mears just retired as the Kansas City Wolf for the Kansas City Chiefs mascot. For 35 years, he's been the mascot. Wow. He is now the first mascot inducted into the Mascot Hall of Fame. That's
So
pretty
what,
incredible.
did the Hall of Fame just get started for mascots? Because if he's the first, that means there's never been another mascot. So is this a new thing
I
now?
guess they thought, hey, we better start one.
Better start one with this guy right here. That's a
Right
long
now-
time to wear a sweaty costume.
Right now, the wife of about 10 mascots in the NFL is looking at her husband going, you are not doing this for 35 years.
So I wonder what you
I
get
wonder how much they
paid.
get paid. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
what do you get
Let's
paid to
find
be a
out.
mascot? And then to think that first of all, not that this says anything, because there isn't usually, I'm the person that's sitting in the middle of a sports game. Let's see, would that be a football? Well, I do know football, I guess. When I ask what inning we're in, but it's the wrong sports that go with it, is I did not know that a wolf was the Kansas.
Not bad for just being a mascot. $65,000 a year. You got to remember how much
It's
you
only
work.
one game or whatever. You're only home games.
Right.
I'll take that job to run out on the field for one game a month at home or something like that. That's
Yeah.
not too bad.
It's estimated Dan Mears portraying Wolf earns around $65,000 a year.
Did you know that a wolf was the mascot for the Chiefs? What is a wolf?
I thought it was a coyote. It looks more like a coyote than a
But
wolf to
it's
me.
the Kansas City Chiefs.
Right?
What does that have to do with a wolf? Is it the Chief's pet? It doesn't make sense, does it to you?
Why a wolf?
Why a wolf?
Let's
That's
ask
probably why I
Google.
didn't know. I think I thought it would have been a chief or something like that. That would have been the mascot. Everything we ask Google, Google could just lie to us and we would believe it. Like reading
That's
the
true.
prompter. Who knows what it would be? How about some fun summertime activities?
Due to a tribute to a group of passionate fans known as the Wolf Pack. That's why it was the wolf.
Oh, it's definitely a wolf pack in that stadium.
At the old stadiums, municipal stadium, they were known as the Wolf Pack, so that's why.
Are they building a new stadium there?
I don't know.
That's what I thought that I heard, which I think they're cool. I like the way they're next door to each other, and I love that it's not actually in the city. I love that it's more in the suburbs.
More in the county.
Yeah.
They tried to do that here in St. Louis, but it got shut down. They wanted it more in the city.
They made a mistake there.
Yeah, they
they
did.
should have, but they make a few mistakes there. So I was asking you about summertime. What are some of the things you remember like as a kid that was so much fun in the summer? Mine, making homemade ice cream. I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Oh yeah, put the rock salt in there and listening to it grind.
It just took
Or
too
if it
long.
was really old, you had the crank. You didn't have
Yeah.
the electric one. You had the crank that you had to crank it. I remember my dad cranking that and cranking it to make ice cream.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
And then that's where you start to get impatient. So you drink it as a shake because it never does get to the consistency that you want.
Well, I got a list of 15 forgotten summertime activities we need to bring back, and some of these, I don't know when they did these because I don't remember doing them. Skipping rocks. You ever skip rocks?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, that took some practice and some time growing up learning how to skip
Gotta
a
find
rock.
the flat ones. Yes. Playing Loggets.
I have no idea what a logget is.
This game played in Tudor England was sort of like a cheap version of horseshoes. Players stuck a stick in the ground and took turns throwing other sticks at it. Whoever got their stick closest to the target won.
It must have been so much cheaper to be a parent back then.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, now the toys in that are so expensive.
Rolling a hoop. So in other words, little kids
that
back
hula
in
hoop?
the old days had it like a hula hoop.
Oh, I do. I have.
And they had a stick and they would take the stick inside the hoop.
Okay, so
and
we're
kinda
talking
walk
about
with
before
it.
we were born.
Oh, before we were born, yeah. Having an outdoor dance.
Oh, that. Well, I used to do talent shows and make the parents sit while I would dance and twirl the baton. That's a scary thought of what my parents had to go through.
My dad had vegetable gardens, and
Hence
I hated
why we
it
don't
'cause
have
I
a
was at
garden.
work. But one of those is bringing back growing giant vegetables.
Giant vegetables?
That's what it says, giant vegetables. So I guess you have to do certain things to make
I've
the
always
vegetables.
wanted a garden. We have so many rabbits, though. I can't. How high we would have to build it to keep the rabbits from eating it all?
Here's
Okay.
another one.
All right.
Using bathing machines.
What?
Before string bikinis were considered appropriate beach attire, Victorian ladies frolicked in the surf
Frolicked.
within the confines of a bathing machine. These private carts gave women a sheltered space to change
What
their
are we
clothes.
back in the 1800s
right
right
on
now?
the water. Yeah.
What?
Here's another one for you. Sculpting things out of butter.
Okay, I've never.
Never in my
Never.
life. These are really old. Just playing a sidewalk game. Not that we've
Now,
done.
sidewalk, hopscotch.
Yeah, in fact,
Is
in Newtown, where there's a little girl down by the corner, she's always got stuff drawn out on the
Yeah.
on the sidewalk.
I try to do the hopscotch.
Having a garden party. Did you have a garden party?
I mean, I think people are having garden parties now, but I'm not sure what you mean by a garden party.
Well, I never did. I don't think boys do that. I think girls do that. I didn't know if you had like a little, I don't know. Taking a road trip on Route 66. Now that's still
Yeah.
something that I would love to take the whole thing, but we
course
got to
you
be
would.
we got to be retired first.
I wouldn't.
And legally, I like how they use legally opening up a fire hydrant. You ever been around when they opened a fire hydrant?
Well, they do in Newtown. They
They do. They
the
do.
fire hose. I think
Yeah,
they had the
they
fire.
had the fire
yeah, that
department
fire
come down
hose
and open it
connected
up.
to it. The actual fire department did that, though. So I guess that's what you consider legally.
Celebrating the summer solstice.
Okay, what does
Since
that mean?
ancient times, people have celebrated the longest day of the year, which is the summer solstice, with dancing, food, bonfires, and more.
Okay, that
So,
That
if you
sounds
really
like-
want to get pagan, head to England to celebrate the occasion at Stonehenge.
so they're still doing it.
Apparently, yeah.
Okay, this one says turning into the radio.
Tuning into the radio is what it should say. It says tuning. Kel.
Tuning. Okay.
I thought there was a typo.
Apparently
but no,
we can't read.
Kelly's brain was a typo.
Yes, my brain's always a typo.
And
Tuning
spreading-
in. So this is back in the 1970s.
Tuning into the radio. Yeah.
People turn into their phones.
You know what? Some people, I wonder if there's anybody out there that agrees with me on this.
Which part?
But there's something nostalgic for me about listening to an old AM, just listening to the AM radio in the car with a little bit of static. And it
bit of
just
bacon
kind of brings
frying.
back in time. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
kind of like trying to tune in with the old. Remember the little AM transistor radios you
Yeah.
had, and you'd have to turn the little dial, and you'd get it just perfect to
right.
get the station in. Yeah.
Or you'd lose it. Yes,
And the
I
last
remember.
one, spreading a hoax about a sea monster.
Who invented these?
I don't know, but I think we saw a sea monster at Newtown Lake. Remember that big giant fish we saw? He was half the size of me.
Well, I saw him jump out of the water yesterday, and I sat there for a while because I was terrified that it was a kid in the water. It was so big. I thought maybe my eyes were playing tricks on me, and there's a child in the water. I was ready. I was like, oh man, I'm going to have to change clothes because I'm going to have to jump in and go save the child. But it was Thor the fish.
So there you go. I expect to see some people making some butter
Mating?
sculptures. Making some butter sculptures
You
this
said
summer.
Mating.
You
did not say making.
I expect some people mating this summer. That should be number 16 on the list.
How about Mona Lisa?
What's
going on with Mona Lisa?
Mona Lisa, well, her smile is kind of frowning right now because thousands of tourists were left outside the world's most visited museum Monday as staff striked, citing overcrowding and poor conditions. The museum is poised to undergo renovations, and by 2031, it's part of a growing backlash across
gosh,
Europe.
it'll be so
Locals
old.
in Italy, Portugal, and Spain say tourism is cramping housing, nature, and neighborhood vibes.
And who won the Stanley Cup,
My
Gordon?
son is extremely happy
Did
right
you lose
now.
the bet?
I didn't bet him.
You did when we thought Coach Berube was in the running. We wanted Coach
Berube
Berube.
was still in. I wanted the Maple Leafs to win. Yeah.
I did too. I was texting Dominic. I thought, oh gosh, I'm not going to text her again because the one night that I texted her to say congratulations, I'm so excited to see Coach, you guys in the playoffs, and they lost that night. So the next night they were playing, I'm like, I'm going to wait to text her when the game's over because she's going to think I'm the bad luck if I text her and her husband loses again. So I did not, but they still lost. Yeah. Then I didn't want to text her to say I'm sorry, so I just said hi. Her daughter graduated from college.
For your loss.
So sorry for your loss. But they did great though, right?
Yes. Speaking of loss,
What?
R. Kelly almost suffered a loss within himself. He nearly
care?
fatal overdosed in prison, they say.
How do you
He's serving a
overdose?
30-year sentence. I didn't know it was 30 years.
For being a pervert?
Yeah, I didn't know it was 30 years.
But-
and it's such a shame because I actually liked his music.
He did have good music. How do you overdose in prison? I didn't think drugs were allowed in there.
Yeah, well,
Apparently he found them?
Apparently they are. And the doctor in the Matthew Perry's death case has pled guilty to providing Perry with ketamine a month leading up to the actor's overdose. And the chef we just found out, and how do you say her last name, Burrell?
I'm not sure how to say it. I mean,
She was a chef and Food Network star. She died at age 55.
yeah,
That
we
is
still
so
don't
young.
know why, which is really sad to think, of what happened to her. If she had a heart attack or something like that, I don't know what it is, but she's, comedic and an excellent chef. I enjoyed watching her on the Food Network channel. And I feel like she just played like a role in a movie. I think it might have been her, but again, I'm gossiping right now because I didn't do my homework to really actually check that fact out there for you. But yeah, that's way too young. It kind of hits a little bit home when you hear somebody so young that is gone. So I have a great place that we'll talk about later, a little hidden gem that is an easy destination for you to be able to go to. And I guess you'd like me to tell you about someone really special before we take it to break?
Someone very special we just had in here yesterday.
So before we get our guest in here in the room, I'm going to tell you about Jennifer Williams. And she was here yesterday. It was a great interview. Look forward to her coming in, talking about life, giving us some tips and things that we can do to organize our home and be in a much calm state of mind with that. And like she said, if you just take one drawer maybe and clean that out, and in your case it would be several drawers and your closet. Not your closet where your clothes is, that's extremely clean, but your closet in your office is absolutely terrifying to go in. And you keep buying containers to organize it, so you just need her to come in, take care of it.
We do. I need her to come out and just redo my garage.
Oh, I think your garage looks pretty good.
It does.
I mean, it only fits my car, a 3-car garage, but because you have so much
We have
stuff.
things that kind of need to be hidden.
It's a man cave,
like the
by the way.
lawnmower and things like that. It
Oh, God
folds up.
forbid your lawnmower shows up in your car or
like-
in your garage,
I don't
right?
like-
Who
I
wants
don't-
to see
yeah,
that?
I want it nice
So
and
if
neat.
you want to go from chaos to calm, it's Jennifer Williams at the St. Louis Closet Company. It is locally owned, operated right here in St. Louis. You can actually see the work being done for your home because they're, what do you want to call it, a manufacturing plant is literally in the same building as their gorgeous showroom that they have. And if it's your laundry room, your mudroom, your garage, as Gordon wants, they can do it for you. It's professionally done. It's not a cookie cutter. It's designed exactly what you want it to be. And the cool thing about it is you can walk in their showroom to get ideas, but they can, of course, design anything for you. I love talking about the closet that she did, or actually wasn't really a closet. It's their storage room, I guess, for their studio there for Nellie, and they keep a lot of things, but that's a cool video. You can check that out on Instagram if you go to St. Louis Closet Company and see the walkthrough and the fun time that they had with Nellie in creating that room. So if you want to go from chaos to calm, it's St. Louis Closet Company. It's your go-to for creating functional, beautiful spaces every corner of your home. Support small, support local, and get organized the St. Louis way. So we're going to take a break right here on the Lou Information Station, which is live on louinfo.com, on demand, streaming 24/7, and of course on the dial at 590 AM, the KLIS. And of course, we'd love for you to subscribe to the louinfo.com. You can get to the In Your City show. You can like us, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, send us a message. Tell us if there's someone you think you'd like us to interview or have on the show, or maybe you're one of them that we should have on the show. Reach out to us. We would love it, and you could subscribe as well. We'll be right back with more right here on the In Your City show. We are back. It's 4:32 in your city show at thelootinfo.com. You can subscribe to us, of course. You're listening to us also on 590 AM. We're on demand 24/7, so you can catch the show. It is happy hour, so I hope you have your favorite mocktail or cocktail and enjoying some time with us. The show just got common.
Got common.
That was dumb. That was kind of a dumb segue, wasn't it?
We don't want it to be common.
It's common because we're at the Commons right now.
I know, but there's nothing common about the Commons.
No.
Let me tell you right now.
So thank you for being here, Paul Dinkins and Jeannie Crosby, right? I said everything correct. It's like when I look at the name, sometimes I forget his name. As soon as I have to say someone's name, I'm like, I can't even remember my daughter's name. But I know you guys, so I didn't look at my notes. But thank you so much for coming in, talking about the Commons. We were talking earlier that business has changed and shifted so much the way people work. You know, we used to go into these big corporate buildings, or we try to make a makeshift office in our home. And now these cool spaces are coming around, and you have just really brought the Commons alive in the new town, which is located in St. Charles, where we of course live. And we have an office in your space too for Casey. And you just done amazing changes in there. Thanks. And you're still growing continuously and working on the growth and bringing new things to St. Charles actually as a whole. So thank you for coming in, and let's find out a little bit about you. You've got your background. Were you in the tech world?
I had a security company at one point. Yeah.
All right, and then decided to just bring everybody home to an amazing workspace called the Commons in Newtown.
Right. Yeah. I've lived in Newtown for 17 years.
Gosh, that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's easy to remember.
It was like 10 houses when you were there.
I have a 17-year-old, so that's an easy one for me to remember. It was. I fell in love with the co-working business model when I lived in Seattle. I came across one. This is awesome. And when the building that we started in came available, it was the right timing to be able to do something like that. And always tried to help Newtown and build community there. So it was a good timing, good fit. Yeah,
you walk in, got the ping pong table. I'm always thinking if someone's playing though. What's that?
Yeah, it's like a concrete outdoor ping pong table. So
maybe you need to put it as a buffet table when you have an event there as well.
That's true. Yeah, or put it in the outdoors.
It is planning to go into the courtyard, so we've got some different activities.
Yeah,
we have some.
I love ping pong. Do you have a picture of the courtyard?
Yeah, I do.
Love the courtyard and the fountain. We actually had one of our meetings when the weather was beautiful and sat out there by the fountain and enjoyed that. So you have two spaces actually. Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
that's part of it right there.
The courtyard's
it's gorgeous.
Been wildly popular lately for graduation parties. We had a wedding in there this past weekend.
How beautiful!
It's just gorgeous. It's perfect for your micro wedding. It would be great for a corporate cocktail party, something where you just want to elevate it a little bit without decorating too much, because the courtyard stands on its own, just as with the flowers, the fountain. There's convenient parking on the street and in the lot behind. So, and then
restaurants nearby
there are,
in case you want to just walk and have something to eat. And Marcella's, the grocery store right there, in case you want to pick up a little something. But you've got a great, upstairs level. You have it upstairs and downstairs. I mean, you carry the coffee and the snacks. Sometimes I've had to come back with $1 because I grabbed something, didn't have $1 with me. What's cool, you have a new podcast studio in there yourself.
Yeah, we're inspired by you.
It's so fun. I love it. It keeps getting better every time you keep doing something new to it. Are people really enjoying coming in there and be able to put on their show?
Yeah, they're coming in. We've got a pastor that comes in on a regular basis that does his show, one for ABC, one for his church. We've had a regular podcast person that's coming in, and I think it's Last Words is his, that just came out yesterday. He recorded last week. Some really in there. And then that room, if you know anything about the Commons, we make everything flexible. That can be turned into a meeting room. It could turn into a podcast studio. You can get multi-purposes out of all of our spaces. Photo studio for headshots and small portraits.
The rooms are flexible, and you know what else is flexible? You guys are flexible. Because me and now Carly is just come in on a whim, and you go, and you're so sweet. You go, well, I think that room's available if you want it.
Yes, I play
even though we
cruise director many
we're supposed to do, and it's go online and schedule our time.
I don't think I've ever done that.
I'm so mad about that.
And you're like, because I'll be having a meeting, you're like, Casey's upstairs. So hopefully maybe she booked it or whatever.
I actually bought some used mini iPads that it's going to have, each room will have its own thing so people can actually go there.
Look at you taking that tech little savvy stuff, and
so
putting
you can
it
just
into
walk in and
action.
be like, oh, this one's available. So.
And that's what's really cool too, is you also have implemented some screens around Newtown in the mail rooms and some other areas to kind of just let people know what's going on. And I like that too. You've done such an incredible job with that. And I told Kelly that. I said, the fountain, I had to look at that every day in the horrible weight room that used to be there, and then look at the horrible fountain that was always covered up or not working properly. Yeah. Weeds growing everywhere. Everything you touch, you make better. So we appreciate that.
Gym's beautiful. It really is. It's no excuse why I'm not there now.
Oh yeah,
Gordon goes for me, and
I've been trying to get my buddy there, but he won't go.
It's really, really nice. I mean, everything you do is impeccable. A little bit about you, which I did. I mean, you're an incredible businessman, and that's what Gordon and I were talking about as we were looking at recognizing people in the community that are really making a difference. And Gordon brought you up. And, when you look back at your background, so you were actually
a Korean linguist
and a Navy influencer. I just noticed all the flags that you put up whenever it's, Labor Day or Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your background, and how do you think it has brought you to where you are right now with such a passion for community and city?
Yeah. I think because I've seen and done so many different things, I think that's probably why there's so many different elements to the Commons and all the experiences. But yeah, I went into the Navy, which is also where I met my wife. We went to language school in Monterey, California. And so when you sign up, you get a job, and so we were linguists, and then you pick your language, and then we ended up doing air crew and getting stationed in Japan. So we were doing intelligence gathering, so we weren't like translating for people. So
because I was just going to ask you if you could go with me the next time I get my
nail
nails
salon.
done, and you would tell me what they're saying if I'm getting my nails done.
So, yeah, it's one of those use or lose things, and I got out in 2005, and so it's just like, I can kind of understand, but like speaking, it's just I feel like I know Spanish better at this point, just from like high school than I do Korean.
I just want to learn. I know what you're saying in Vietnamese. So that way when they start talking,
Google Translate will get you on that one. So
yeah, actually you can just open your app.
Put my phone down there and
hear what they're saying. But
it'll transcribe it
they
for
whisper. They'll be like this, and they go,
but the person in the back,
and the one in the back will know what they're saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, here, how do they hear them all the way over there?
But yeah,
that's part of it. So how many years then were you in service?
For 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. And I got out, went to seminary in Seattle, and then I moved here after we are about to have our second kid, and we're like, hey, we need to be in our family. So have y'all heard that if you're not from here and you're a guy, it's called St. Louis is the land of son-in-laws? Have you heard that one?
No.
Yeah.
I've heard what high school did you go to?
Yeah,
That's the big question here, but not the land of son-in-laws.
So it's happened over and over again where like someone would be like, hey, where are you from? They're from somewhere else, and knew they're married and a professional, whatever. Like, land of son-in-laws.
So you moved here because your wife's family's
Yeah, she's
here?
from St. Charles. Yeah.
I've never heard. See, I've learned something new every single day in here.
Yeah.
So, what brought you to Newtown then?
Actually, my wife's sister lives in Newtown. She was one of the first
really
original. Before they built their things, they had gotten a lot. So we already knew about Newtown, and when we were coming here, that's the only place we looked.
It's incredible, the growth.
Yes.
I mean, I was playing volleyball in Newtown, I guess 15, 16 years ago, and I always, gosh, someday I want to live in here. This is the coolest place. It's like living on vacation. There was a third. Our street where we live wasn't even there. Like when you look back at the map, and then we did a story on it. I guess this September we did a story on Newtown because it's 20 years.
Yes.
And so they sent us some pictures, when it started. Amphitheaters where all the concerts are and stuff like that. I mean,
and barbecue was like
the
Prancing Pony.
Pony,
which is such a cute name.
He needs to bring back the open doors.
Yeah.
That would be so cool, wouldn't it?
for
Well,
sure.
there's some new restaurants that have just opened up. I think the District's is right
The
there.
District, we went there the other night. It's really
Very
nice.
nice, very
And
nice.
we have the Barbecue Fest that's coming up on the 28th. There's some
Yeah.
really big.
What's the barbecue
Oh,
fest?
well, if you go out to NTX Connect, you can check out all the events happening in and around the area. We are keeping a full list of things to keep you active, and some of them are in the Newtown area, some are at the Commons, some are in the Frenchtown area. We're just kind of trying to help promote all of St. Charles North City area.
So what the heck is NTX? Anybody? I mean, what's that?
That's kind of the screen thing I was talking
Yeah,
about.
that's where the screens, you're going around Newtown in the mail rooms and at the amphitheater.
Oh, not
You can-
just in the office space of the
Yeah.
Commons.
No.
You're talking about those are going to be in other locations, like in the mailroom and so forth.
Right.
So do you have to be in one of those areas to check out the NTX? And
You could
what
go
does that
online.
stand for?
It started off as kind of Newtown and beyond, and then
Okay.
it's kind of morphed into Northtown, which is a something the Mayor Dan's trying to
Dan
promote.
Borgmeyer?
Yeah,
Yep.
he's trying to promote the boroughs of Riverwalk, and he called our area kind of Northtown, so north of Frenchtown. So it's encompassing that, and so the kind of the geography that we're trying to make sure we have the events on, and even get advertisers and stuff like that is that that area. It's kind of like the Orchard Farm School District area.
So just understand, NTX, is it ntx.com? Is it
It-
NTX? What is NTX?
Yeah, NTX. Yeah, we do have a website, ntxconnect.com.
Connect.com, okay.
There's an app as well. We haven't really pushed it yet because we're still
And
kinda
that's how to
testing
find
it.
out what's going on
Right,
in the
that's
north
how
side of
to-
St. Charles and Newtown and see the events that you're talking about
Yeah.
then.
We have
In a
both
directory.
we have
Okay.
both events in there. We have a directory, so if you want to you have a small business or a side hustle, you can put that on there, and then you can promote it through there. We have everything from some therapists that are on there, home health care centers, people to fix things around your home. Again, the membership at the Commons, because we're a shared office, we also have kind of like a micro chamber inside of the community.
Okay.
So this is kind of morphed into that NTX Connect, and it's just growing like crazy, and we want to see it just help build the community.
I like the way the logo, it's like almost like I feel like a path going through it, a little bit of green and a little bit of water, I feel like.
That is exactly
with it.
right. Yeah.
Very, very nice. How do you think it's shifting with the work trend and workspaces? How are you different maybe than others in the trends with the workspace? Talk a little bit about that and understanding.
Yeah, so I think one of the things that we differentiate ourselves is by building community, because there's a lot of different flex spaces that you can have. Like Regis is one. You can go and get an office and have a receptionist, whatever. But again, it's just you're in and out. So we're really trying to again do the business networking, and we're very intentional about making connections and the co-working. A buzzword in the co-working space now is hospitality.
Okay.
So sometimes we're just looking at ourselves as actually a hospitality industry versus being an office rental. So as Gordon pointed out earlier, we try to customize solutions and try to be able to be there for people and make sure they're get the Wi-Fi password and whatever
Yeah.
it might be. So
A gym, spaces to, like you said, the outdoor garden area, places you can rent to have a wedding. You don't have to be a member of your workspace to have a
No.
wedding there then?
great point. Yeah. No.
Or what about going to the gym? Do you have to be a member
Actually,
as well?
no, you do not.
Okay.
So we're a little boutique gym, which is really nice. You can actually take a class without being a member there.
Okay.
You can actually schedule training or schedule with a trainer without buying a large package.
So you're really
you can
open
kind
to
of
the community
it's
without
open.
having to be tied into something.
Right.
Exactly.
Now, it's, again, being a smaller gym, we don't have a big locker room facility or
Right.
anything like that, because most people live in and around that. So they're going to go home and change,
Sure.
come and go. But you can get your workout in. Paul's added some really wonderful, like, little amenities that you wouldn't expect, like a dry sauna and red light therapy
Yeah.
inside of it. Got a vibration plate, but the yoga classes, the Pilates, they're all there. Again, we even offer Silver Sneaker and Renew Active members, so seniors
silver
in the area.
sneakers, that instead of saying gray-haired people, you say silver
No,
sneakers
actually,
now.
it's a benefit through your insurance
'Cause I have a pair of
company.
silver
Yeah.
sneakers actually.
I bet you do.
She does.
No, but
More than one, right?
I'm never wearing those again.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
So I think back to what differentiates that, we're intentional about creating what I like to call an ecosystem. So when people come with ideas, whether business ideas or needing help connecting with someone, we try to have a way for them to bloom, to grow. And so again, even like with the gym, we have quite a few instructors that only do once a week, and they have other jobs, whatever, but they're passionate about yoga. We got different things, and so we're able to kind of accommodate that and let people kind of fulfill their side hustles if it's that, and
try to groom people's interests. We had a self-publishing seminar for people who had that interest in writing a book and never knew. One of our members is actually a ghostwriter who helps counsel and help writers. So that was a really neat experience.
How often do you have that?
Well, we did that one last month. We may be
Can you do it
offering
once a
again.
month, so when people call Kelly and say, "How do you publish a book?" You can send them right to your
It was extremely well received.
I bet
and
it
so
was.
we're talking about another one this fall, maybe changing it up a little bit. We've got some plant-based cooking classes. So
that's
if you're
cool.
trying to change your palette up or your menu, and
We were there for a while. We were plant-based, eating. We didn't have any meat in our
Almost
diet
two
for
and a half
2.5 years,
Yeah.
and became these ravishing carnivores in a matter of 5 minutes at
Went
a
to
barbecue.
at the Lake of the Ozarks.
again, that
and it
barbecue
was like,
festival's coming up on the 28th.
because we
so
are now
we can
meat
definitely
eaters
get
again.
you.
So before, go ahead. You still get
Well,
to say something.
I was going to say
there.
that is something that should draw people, because it's kind of mirrored off the Rib Fest. It's going to be an all-day thing in the amphitheater. It's a barbecue competition, and the city's actually putting it on and hosting it. And then next year it should be all weekend. Like if you remember, to go to the Rib Fest, it was a pretty good thing. But it's just called
big
St.
thing.
Charles Barbecue Fest against the 28th. That's
So
not-
fun,
June,
all the
yeah.
events and things like that to do. Before we play a little game, and then of course have our mostly superheroes of what's going to be on the TV or at the movie screen. We'll all be surprised on what Logan has for us today. But what is probably maybe your most rewarding success story from what you've created, which is quite big. We've watched it grow. Something you can share with us?
So we have the Serenity Studio, which is inside of our space, and it's a great place for therapists to meet. We've had introduced a couple different therapists and mental health wellness coaches in the area, and they're starting to book that out. We also offer virtual office services so people sign up for mailbox. I had a lady come in one time, and she was like, I'm wanting to get into this space, but I don't know where to begin. And I just introduced a couple other people in that space. So I started a very impromptu mental health professional, just meetup. Like, you're in the mental health field, you're in the mental health field. And I had them meet together. And she said, out of that meeting, just that interaction alone, it propelled me into my business. I have been able to help so many people. And so at the end of the day, just the connections that we get to make and meet, and the people that we can say, oh, I know someone in that space that does this. And that's like the beauty of being the connections manager or the community managers, just putting different people together and then just seeing it help other people down the line. So that has been super rewarding in my role, just the amount of people and then making those introductions.
And I think it's so great, a workspace like what you have, because it is lonely for people that are entrepreneurs or in business for themselves, or they're not working in the corporate office and they're at home all the time. So be able to walk in, like Casey hasn't had a car for a little while, and so she hasn't been able to come in, and you're stuck at home, and it's nice to have that camaraderie, be around other people, meet other people in your profession, be able to be part of an environment is really nice.
We have
It does
some
help.
regulars that come in maybe sometimes once a week. I don't see them for a few weeks, and when they do come in, I'm like, hey, I haven't seen you for a while. Oh, I've been traveling. They're like, it's so nice to just have someone say, hi, I haven't seen you in a while.
Right.
Or someone just coming off the street saying, hey, I'm driving from Kansas City through to Indy. I needed a place to stop to do a meeting. I saw your space, and I'm like, I got a room for you. Let's get you your video conference. And then they come out and they go, that was so much better than a Starbucks or a place that I couldn't
too
hear.
noisy.
Yeah,
Yes,
or
that's
even
too
the library
noisy.
where it's like, you think you can get in, but the Wi-Fi is slow or something like that.
Yeah.
a theme we hear is that people will say they feel so much more productive when they come here because they don't have the distractions
Exactly.
from home. And
When I talk to Casey now on our, if we do a Google Meets, then we've got little Mac hanging on our shoulders in the background while we're trying to talk. So let's see how common you two are. Now, you're not married. You work together within the common space there, the Commons at Newtown. So I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to say it and see what each of you say to see what common ground you both share in the
Okay.
office.
Wow.
Coffee or tea?
coffee.
Coffee.
Okay. Paper calendar, digital planner?
Digital.
He's definitely digital. I like digital, but I do still put a planner book
Me
out
too.
so that someone can look at it if I'm not there.
First thing you notice when you're entering your workspace?
Your workspace or a workspace?
Their workspace.
Oh,
Whether there's music on or not.
And I'm looking.
background music.
We normally have background music on, but I'm looking for just order and that when you come in, the space is clean and welcoming, and that
It is
stuff
clean
is ready
there.
to go.
Biggest co-working pet peeve?
I guess talking too loud on the phone.
Yeah.
I know someone in there that does that.
That's it's not it's a pet peeve.
Sometimes I have
it's
to
part
play
of it.
office mom, like.
Oh, I'm bad about walking.
or
Hey!
use the phone booth thing. What
Yeah.
is a silent proof?
And some people don't care, but I'm just I'm easily distracted or whatever, and I have
Early bird, night owl.
I am early bird.
I'm a night owl for
You're a night-
sure.
Yeah.
Most overused office buzzword at the Commons.
That is a good one.
I don't know.
You
for that one.
You stumped us on that one. No, I
Nope,
don't.
got
I
nothing.
don't have it.
For me, is that I'll probably say be right back, and then I don't.
That I don't.
Welcome
I
to the
am.
Commons. Can I help you?
How would you say your workspace, what is your workspace vibe?
Definitely casual, relaxed. I think friendly and welcoming. So
And from aesthetics, probably nature. We got a lot of greenery.
You do?
Yeah.
Yep. Ever take a Zoom call from the car?
he did today. I was like, "Are you going to be on this call?"
And what do you think that your co-working space should be a must to have?
You mean like as in? Say it
Do you
again.
think-
Say it a
Like
different
What
way.
is a
Amenities,
must?
like
Would it
what
be
is- what is your
Wi-Fi,
must?
good snacks?
Oh yeah.
No.
What do you think the must-have of your working space should have?
High-speed Wi-Fi is definitely
Yeah.
everybody's online.
Everybody's online.
Everybody's
Yeah.
online.
So
They've
both
got to be
agree.
productive one way or the other. And
I
like I,
think
said,
they did pretty good.
Yeah.
You guys did good.
Thanks.
I've got to think about that question though. I'm like,
If someone wants to find out about the Commons at Newtown,
Yeah.
I know you can Google the Commons and it comes up. Is there
Yes.
anything else that we should know? I know you have the NTX.
I don't know.
Well, commonsgroup.co. And again, if you just put in co-working spaces St. Charles, we pop up to the top.
Many times I've had to pull up the address for someone that's dropping someone off, and all I do is write the Commons Newtown, and it just pops
Yeah.
up in the Google link. So it's pretty easy to find. You guys have done a good job there. So Gordon, do we have time to go ahead and find out what's going on with
Might go
mostly?
a minute 30 over.
Okay, so should we wait till the next go around then? We'll wait then. We'll do it in the next
We
hour.
might have.
Okay, we'll have to
have
do that
to.
then. So let me ask you: do you all have a pet?
Yes, I have 2 dogs.
2 dogs. Do you have a pet?
I have 2 goldfish.
Okay. Oh.
What's their
Well,
names? Did you name?
Did you
Sam and
name-
Victor.
Sam and
Sam
Victor.
How long have they been living, or do you keep replacing them?
They have been around for a while.
Wow, because my
so-
kids' goldfish I had to just replace, and they never knew. Oh, look, George is back.
I tried in the
George
fountain.
has-
I tried 5 goldfish. They didn't last. So.
Yeah.
That's
didn't
hard
work.
to keep.
Yeah.
The farm, they've got some big goldfish there,
Yeah.
in the farm, which is in Newtown as well.
Koi fish. Those are koi.
Oh, they've got big goldfish, orange
they
fish.
koi?
That's koi.
Yeah.
That's what they're called.
Okay,
Maybe,
is that a
maybe
big,
there's both.
Is that
We'll
a,
just- how about that?
Maybe is it a
Trying to save you.
is it a great big goldfish? Aren't they orange?
They are orange. Some
But
of them are white with speckles on them, and it's like, but they're koi.
So all this time, years, those big fish in that pond that are orange are not great big goldfish.
No, they're koi.
They're
Different
koi.
species.
What are the fish that jump in the air and almost jump in the boat? Have jumped in the boat.
Those are Japanese carp.
Yes.
Those are
In the
creepy,
river.
scary. If they hear the music on your boat, or the vibration of the motor, they fly up in the air and sometimes they land in the boat. And I'm getting way off track because I'm about to ask you a question, but I got to tell the story. So this guy is out on the river. We love going out on the river and boating. And he's out in the river. Where's that place used to go where they barbecued on the island?
Yeah.
And the guys are like we are, but they're standing in the water talking.
Halfway in the water.
Just kind of on the edge of the sandbar. And all of a sudden, this guy gets completely knocked out, hits the water,
shark flies out of the water and smacks him in the face. Knocks
he
him
did
out.
not know it.
He didn't see the fish.
He thought one of the guys
Hit
just
him.
knocked him and hit him.
Oh, wow.
He comes up out of the water and goes, "What'd you hit me for?" And it was one of those fish just smacked him in the head. So
Well, I don't know if we've got the Japanese flying carp in the Newtown neighborhood, but we do have.
it'd be fun if you did.
Oh no, it wouldn't.
But we do have the what?
We just have regular carp, and there's a lady who photographs them all the time. You see them.
really?
Yeah, they're
We
beautiful.
saw one.
Size of
A white one.
great white whale.
About the
That's it. It's not a
size.
whale. It would be a
He
shark.
was half the size of me.
Oh,
The
my.
length of me.
Really was. I mean, we followed him for a long time. Like, couldn't
Wow.
believe how big he was. He was
Well,
incredible.
hopefully the barbecue doesn't turn into a fish fry in Newtown. So.
Exactly. All right, so our question of the day, if your pet or pets, even your goldfish,
Okay.
what's the first thing it would say about you if it could talk?
Ooh, about us.
Oh, what would it, yeah.
Well,
about
mine sit on the counter in the kitchen, and I do like to cook fish.
So they
So
would
I
say
think there's a
yum?
little, no, they'd be like mortified. Who are you cooking?
Who are you cooking?
Who are you cooking?
Are we next?
Why do you look so big? Because you're looking through the bowl. It's like
You look enormous.
I feel like right now they'd say I'm lazy right now because I don't take them for walks
They'd
as
say
much.
you're lazy. What kind of dog?
Well, no, like that I'm neglectful. Well, because the kids, I got
think
a
you're
20-year-old.
I don't think you're neglectful.
Well, not lazy, but I'm saying I have a 20-year-old that's in college and 17-year-old. They just don't get walks as like they should, So
funniest
I feel
thing,
guilty sometimes. You're just like,
Taking
oh,
a
you
dog
should
for a
go.
walk, isn't it? The way they're just the smelling, and it's just
Yeah,
like a whole new
yeah,
world
it's
for them
crazy.
being out. We let the dogs get out in the grassy area, and it was like they lost their mind. There were so many smells, and they had
Yeah.
sensory overload when we just let them off the leash.
Yeah, so if they're gonna say something, they'd probably just say, "Please take me out
If
for
you're
a
the
walk."
Newtown man, you need to get a dog park going. Come on. Get things happening over there. We're like,
Obviously, I've
there's
thought about
so
it, but-
many dogs. I don't even understand. They're all peeing in my yard. Get a dog park. I always like the people. Like the people that put the signs out. No peeing in your yard. It's like, okay, you moved in the wrong subdivision for that one. All right. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for coming, Jeannie, Paul. The Commons there in Newtown. Check it out. Excellent workspace. We're going to be back in the second hour, the hottest happy hour in STL, right here on In Your City Show on the Lou Information Station on louinfo.com. We'll be right back. Whether it's a mocktail or a cocktail, and we're so glad that you're enjoying this time with us on the new Lou Information Station, louinfo.com. Go on, subscribe. You can go to the In Your City Show channel as well. Subscribe to us. Follow us, like us, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is that you would like. And then, of course, if you're driving around or you've got your, as Gordon called it, what'd you call it, the little transmitter radio or something like that? And you got to do the little dial real slow to make sure you get on 5:50 a.m. You can hear us there, too. All right, well, I want to tell you about some friends of ours, and that's Otto Orthodontics. Dr. Otto, Dr. Gina Otto, and her husband, her team is fabulous there at Otto Orthodontics. They have 5 locations: Creve Coeur, De Pere, Fenton, St. Peters, and Wentzville. They accept most insurance and offer interest-free payment plans, which is awesome and makes it stress-free as well. They have won many awards. They are Missouri's #1 Invisalign provider. And of course, the coolest thing, if you mention the In Your City show, you are going to get $1,000 off your treatment. $1,000. And with the way dental cost, even if your insurance is involved, $1,000 will tremendously help you. Again, her patients love her. She's trusted. And I wouldn't wait. I would go to ottoortho.com. That's OTTO, ottoortho.com. Book your free consultation. Let Dr. Otto help you with your smile so you can smile with confidence. You deserve it. So here we go. We're in the second part of the hour, and Logan checked in with us today, of course, and has what's going on in the box office, in the theaters, at home. I don't know what he's treating us with today, so let's see what Logan Janis with Mostly Superheroes has to offer. Maybe. There it is. Mostly Superheroes.
Superheroes, another update for you in Movie Town. It's the real life Mr. Movie Phone. Not sure if I can legally even say it, but we're going to try. Mark Bluestein from Alamo Drafthouse St. Louis, programming manager and special screenings coordinator.
That's correct.
Is that right?
Completely, yes. I was going to say press 5 if you think this is correct.
We'll just call it maybe the Mostly Superheroes phone or the Alamo phone. We can fight about that later. Mark, welcome back. How are you? Thank you for spending time with us to tell us about what's happening in movies. Thanks for coming back. How are you?
Very good. You know, it's a little getting warmer in St. Louis. Everyone's going to want to try and come into a movie theater, and that's why we're here.
And a lot is happening down at Alamo Drafthouse Cinema in the City Foundry. And, of course, Team Jakey, you all have been really generous with Charity on Tap. That started back in April, and it's ending this June 30th. You know, our friends over at Four Hands, for every citywide sold, $1.50 went to Team Jakey in the Stigma, our mental health friends. And we are going to have a party, one last hurrah with let's drink some more citywides.
We will be there. We're ready to go. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a party.
And that's it on the business on my side. Let's get to the good stuff. Movies of June. This is where we're talking about Friday, June 20th through the 22nd. Mark, what is coming up in the new releases town?
All right. So this week we're going to have 28 Years Later. That is directed by Danny Boyle. Those are the fast-moving zombie flicks that he pretty much created. In fact, I don't think we'd have The Walking Dead TV show without him starting this whole thing.
And then next up, you mentioned animated new release Disney flick.
Yes, it's going to be Elio. I'm old, so I don't really know too much about this. My kid is well grown. But this is a movie that Disney has had in their pocket for about 2 years with our continuing series of Lilo and Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon for all families that would want to come out this weekend and see something. Holdover with The Materialists, which is very, very good. Kind of a romance movie, perfect for dates, but it's more of a modern romance. It's not like Pretty Woman. It's more built on today's kind of fast-moving internet world of speed dating. That is Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal.
That's right. And we just talked about this with Swerve. You guys are friends with Swerve from the Swerve podcast, Third Eye Review. He came on into our studio last night and says he's willing to bet Materialists is going to be awesome.
The one that could have done something but didn't, we are still continuing, and it's the Stephen King's Life of Chuck. Very good flick, but just didn't find the audience this past weekend. However, also great for families. It has a very Back to the Future vibe, but just a little bit more adult. It does have some themes of death and a few other elements, but not scary, not your typical Stephen King thing. This is more family oriented, and it's a very good, heartwarming story. Mark Hamill's in it, and you can't even tell it's him for about the first 10 minutes. So definitely good there. If you are in the area and you want to see a flick at the Alamo, our exclusives are going to be Brokeback Mountain for June's Pride. We're going to do a midsummer movie party on Friday. So that is, the whole movie plus props, and you can yell and talk and sing and whatever makes you happy. That's what our movie parties are about.
Dress up.
It completely dress up. That would be a fun way of showing your love for this movie.
And I love getting the mixes of the new releases that are playing pretty much everywhere around town, along with the Only at the Alamo, your repertory titles with the throwbacks. We just kind of covered June 20th. That's Friday, June 20th through the 22nd. Why don't we jump one weekend ahead and let people look ahead to June 26th through June 28th?
So next week we're going to do Megan 2.0 is probably going to do very well for the Alamo. But we also have the massive Brad Pitt F1 flick, Formula One, that is coming out in our premium large format big show. And I heard that anyone that wants to see the movie needs to come to a large formatted theater to see it, that it's just going to blow you away. And the reviews that came out of it, especially from Formula One drivers, they all liked it. So I think that it's going to be a great flick. I don't know box office wise at the moment, but I think that, once next week starts, you're going to have a ton of flicks to talk about that are going to be huge. One thing that I do want to mention is next Monday, we are going to be doing a very, very special that goes on our website tonight. A very special screening that I cannot say what it is. It is called the Alamo Mystery Machine.
Whoa.
What I can tell everyone is that you're going to want to get your tickets.
And this is for Monday, June 23rd?
June 23rd.
Surprise mystery screening.
Correct.
You don't even know what the movie is.
You don't know until it starts.
Excellent. You never know what's happening in the program from Mark over at Alamo. I love it.
Always trying to shock and surprise.
Mr. Movie Phone, back again. Mark, thanks for doing this, telling us about what's going on in the movies, and I always got to tack on at the end, and it's timely. July, we got 2 big events happening at the Alamo. Movie screenings with our Mostly Superheroes Screen and Social. See Superman with us in the Big Show July 12th, and see Fantastic Four First Steps with us in the Big Show July 26th. Really great time to be a fan of this podcast, who really got its start on movies like these. And a lot of movies have happened in between when we started this show. And these two are some of the most hyped movies that us crew have been pumped about on both sides of the fandoms, DC and Marvel. So really fun time. Mark, thank you guys for hosting with us our Screen and Socials. And we can't wait to party with you at the Alamo again and again.
Let's keep it going. We love it. Love it anytime you guys are in the building.
All right, it's all happening at Alamo Drafthouse St. Louis. Check out more at mostlysuperheroes.com. Mark, thank you for your time. We'll get you in again soon to talk movies, please.
We will always do this. I love doing it, and it's a lot of fun. And, that's what we do. Movies. Mr. Movie Phone.
All right, we got the hot seat going, and in the hot seat today is Kari and Scott Montgomery. You are the passionate and drivers, founder of the Canine Innovations, and we love dogs, of course, and you've got the cutest dog there is, and you have just literally later in life started a whole new journey, which is incredible. Welcome to the show, and thank you for being in the hot seat today here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
We should pour you a cocktail or something like that.
Yeah, we would not say no.
We don't have to
Well,
say
it is
it's
5 o'clock somewhere.
It's
Yeah.
actually 5
It
o'clock,
is 5 o'clock.
5:14
It is
here.
5
So
o'clock
we
here in St.
we
Louis.
could be doing it up right now,
Yeah,
couldn't
that's
we?
right.
Absolutely.
Well, we laugh every time we say the last name, being that we are not related yet have the same last name. So
Yep.
it's the Montgomerys right now sitting in your city room, which is kind of cute. So
Absolutely.
someone asked,
Aren't
are
you
you
two
related?
ladies lucky?
Yes.
We are so lucky. So
Yeah.
thank you for joining us. We've actually been. Is that? You brought a bag in, and I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Is that have the canine solutions in there?
does.
So
It does.
Let's pull that out.
So
Well,
we brought some daily skin and coat and daily gut health.
Daily gut health. So we've had actually Olive and Louie on both of those since we
Yes.
met with you all, and it seriously, you wouldn't think it with her with Olive's short hair, but just white little hair. No matter how many times you vacuum, you sweep, it's like she shakes, especially if they get a nervous shed.
Sure.
And after all these years, I've had dogs. I never realized that dogs can get what's called a nervous shed, and it just goes everywhere. And so, anyway, we have been using the gut health, and we have been using the skin, and it with, what do you say, 1 week, Gordon? It made
Yeah.
a difference with the shedding, and in 1 week we saw a difference, which is incredible.
Well, that's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge for any pet owner that has a dog that sheds. And what is funny is that is not one of the benefits that we expected when we brought these products to market and did all of the research and found the manufacturer and all the rest of it. That is a definite plus that so many pet parents are reporting back to us, is the reduction in shedding, and even in some cases no shedding at all. But that's what happens when you are giving your dog the nutrients that they need to support better skin health in general. You know, from anything from shedding to hot spots to itching to irritations to redness to bumps to different things like that. When you're supporting their skin the way they need to be supported, it's amazing how just great things can happen.
So you all were in a health and wellness business for many years, but it was for people. So what inspired you to, like, you know what, we're gonna turn it up here. We're gonna take care of these pets.
Yeah.
What inspired you to begin?
So I will answer that because I think maybe we both will a little bit. But first of all, thanks for having us.
Thank
We
you.
just said earlier, you guys are awesome, and we can tell you guys really work well together.
Appreciate that.
And kind of play off each other. And I think Kari and I are kind of the same way.
Must be a Montgomery thing.
It must be a Montgomery thing. It's because
But
the
Montgomery guys are just so laid back and easy going.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
we're better together than we are apart.
Oh, same,
And
definitely.
so our background is health and wellness and longevity, not just, I think, personally, but that's our background from a professional standpoint too. So we knew that we wanted to do something together. We knew what our experience was and what our expertise was. And we kind of took our human experience and kind of moved that over into the pet, I think, health. And because that's important to us. So,
Which is incredible. I mean, how did pets survive before this new generation? Because pets are like literally, he got a Father's Day gift from Olive and Louie. Our
Oh my gosh, you gotta
dogs
find
are
that.
our kids. I mean,
Sure.
and I make their food. I
Yeah.
might be a little over the top of some, I don't know. Just the way we treat our pets is so different. Not that they were abused, but I think they were just, I don't know.
Well, pets are family too.
They are, but I don't feel like they used to always be that in everyone's home. And I don't think
My
we're worried about
Father's Day present from Olive.
Oh, love that.
some swim
beautiful.
trunks
Love
with
that.
Olive's head on them. That's maybe creepy. I don't know, but I couldn't help myself.
No, that's awesome.
But it
so
really has changed.
coming from the human, we've had to do a lot of research side, and about 5% of your pets, your dogs, get the nutrition that they need.
That's
And
not
it's
enough.
like,
Not
that's,
enough.
that's not enough.
They all
No.
don't have me as a
So-
mommy.
There you go.
No,
There
exactly.
you go.
So that was something that we kind of saw a problem out there, and we wanted to kind of solve that.
But you know,
So I
there's
think between those two products, the top 10 reasons that you would take your dog to the vet, that addresses 7 of those.
7 of the top 10.
Yeah.
With a simple chew that you just put in their food bowl once a day. Stay consistent with it.
I'm like, why is there a close up of my hand and my? You've got to get a little bit better on
I
direction.
thought I had saved, but apparently
I'm like,
I
that was a
don't.
great picture of my leg and the computer there. There's the product now if you're watching virtually. You know, because really just like human beings, there is so much poison and trash in our foods.
That's right.
And in fact, I think we had something to talk about today that I believe is a craft that is finally listening and going to take out the poisonous fillers that are within
Yes.
their food. In fact, it's weird to think that ketchup is going to be beige and no longer red.
Yeah.
You know, we eat according to color, and it's kind
Sure.
of funny to
Yeah,
think that's going to be looking weird, but I'd much rather eat healthy ketchup than
Yeah.
what we're eating and the dyes and things. But the same with the dog food. When you find out what is in there and what we're putting into our
Scary.
pets' bellies, you know,
Yeah.
it is scary. And so to know that the research that you've put in,
Well, and that's
to
why it was
help.
so important to us to have clean ingredients. We didn't want any artificial flavors. We didn't want artificial colors. We wanted it manufactured and made in the United States. We wanted to make sure that you could pronounce all the ingredients, right? And that they made sense to like the regular, normal person. But it was also important to keep it very simple with what they need, and it was important to us to find a manufacturer as well that did cold pressing, because not only are there not fillers and there's no artificial colors and flavorings in it, but it's cold pressed. A lot of products are heat pressed, and when you add heat to nutrients, it deflates the potency of the ingredients.
So I was just gonna
And we
ask you what
wanted
that
to
meant.
make sure that we had efficacious amounts, but brought a product to keep it simple and affordable. We want all pet parents to be able to provide this to their pets if that's something that they're interested in.
and is that how you decided on the ingredients, is by looking into the products and what they do? So, so you
Exactly.
say that you can name the products that are on there. What are the ingredients that we're able to look at it that make this product so unique?
Sure. So one of the
No, go ahead. You're doing good.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Keep
Yeah.
going, Kari. You're
yeah,
great.
keep going.
So with the Daily Skin and Coat, the top 3 ingredients in there are the DHA Gold. You've got omega-3s. You've got omega-3, 6, and 9s of healthy fatty acids, just like humans need. And you also have wild Alaskan salmon oil. The key there is it's wild, right? It's not farm-raised
Right.
Alaskan salmon oil. It's wild Alaskan salmon oil. And those 3 ingredients together do amazing things for the skin health, for the glands, for the hair follicles, for helping with itching, helping with dryness, helping with flaking, helping with shedding, different things like that. And you also get benefits from the omegas like joint support. It's not a joint support specific product, but it does cross over when you get those great ingredients in it. And then the daily gut health, you've got your prebiotics and your probiotics, your digestive enzymes, and your fiber. It's no different than a pre and probiotic for humans.
I was just going to ask, and why am I
Exactly.
not taking it?
Exactly.
I might be crunching it up into my salad tonight.
Exactly. But it's like those types of things pets need too. And just like humans with pets, a lot of the problems, health issues, whether it be skin, whether it be digestive, whether it be bathroom issues, whether it be longevity, starts in your gut. If you don't have a healthy
true.
gut, then
Very
you're going to
true.
have other things that aren't doing so great.
Yeah, very, very true. Absolutely. Did you?
No, I mean,
You were leaning
so,
forward. I was. Let me
so you chose to put this on Amazon so people could get it on Amazon. Can they get it locally too?
Through selected groomers,
Okay.
but we chose Amazon for lots of different reasons. And I would say, maybe first and foremost, we were very familiar with that process of how to put the products onto Amazon. But that's arguably the largest or second largest
Search engine
search engine
that
in the
people
world.
use when
So
they're trying to
people
solve
are-
a problem.
Yeah, so
Sure.
people, before they
believe
go to
that.
your website,
So I
they're
go
going to go
first.
to Amazon first. And so we wanted, there's about 104 million dogs across the United States, and we wanted to be able to reach that market. So that's the purpose of Amazon. That's where people shop, 1, 2, 3 click shopping.
Delivered
Very
right to your
easy,
door.
delivered directly to your door. It can be on shop.
I call
or-
it Christmas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Even though I
exactly.
bought it,
So-
I'm like, oh my gosh, Christmas came.
You're like, surprised you got
There
it.
you go.
Surprised I
So
bought
there's-
it.
Yeah, it's a good question, Gordon, and there's just lots of reasons why we did it.
Yeah.
Is we wanted to be able to compete with some of the bigger brands out there. And we were looking at it, over the weekend or earlier this week. We've been in business less than a year now, and we're selling products just last month in over 30 states already.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And we just heard back from Chewy 2 days ago, and we're going to be on Chewy by the end of the summer.
And
We're in
all
the middle
dogs
of
are
the-
waiting at the front door for Chewy to arrive. Did
Yes.
you see that?
So we're in the middle of the onboarding process. So we're kind of excited about that too, because subscriptions are a big deal for pet owners, because you can subscribe and save through Amazon. You can subscribe and save through Chewy, and it takes one less thing off your plate of what you have to remember to do. If you put something that you love on auto ship, it automatically comes. It helps you stay consistent with your pet, helps your pet, be consistent with the product, because the more consistent they are, the better results they're going to get, and those results are just going to keep building and building the longer you take the product.
I have just, when you talked about that, the joint, you were talking about that the ingredients are working on that area. Have you noticed Olive's not limping?
No.
I just all of a sudden thought about that. She has not limped in weeks. She kind of, obviously she's got legs that are, that long compared to the size of her chunkiness body, English Bulldog. And she had kind of hurt her hip, jumping down, and she was limping on. She hasn't been limping at all. So
And
I'm
she'll
wondering.
lay. Another thing that causes that too for her is that she'll lay. I mean, that dog. When we're not home and she knows she can't bother us, she will sleep for like 8 hours straight.
It's like a
And so
teenager in that.
she gets that leg in a weird position, and she'll sleep on it,
Yeah.
and she'll
Sure.
get up and she'll kind of limp. But I don't see her do
All of a
that
sudden, I
anymore.
just thought about
Good.
that. She's not been limping. And
Awesome.
we talked. I didn't
Good.
even know that had anything to do with joints. But
Yeah.
well, tell us about Ruby.
Ruby's awesome.
Ruby
She's
is
great.
awesome. She's like a
can
little
have Ruby
star.
on
She's
Do you have
great.
Ruby on
Ruby's
there? I
gonna
wanna see-
be 8.
Oh my gosh! Look
Yeah.
at Ruby.
Ruby's going to be 8 this year.
She's like a great big
She's
Louie.
a mini golden doodle, so she's about what, 35 pounds, maybe 40
35,
pounds?
40.
Yeah,
We had to go on the
something
green
like
bean
that.
diet several like last
Yeah.
year, because we were
That
getting a little chunky.
works.
We like our snacks. So
But it was our groomer that first noticed the results with Ruby. I mean, her coat is kind of like a Ugg boot.
yeah.
Would
Well,
I
it's
say.
funny
Who's
too,
on
because
boot, that's
all.
we went to pick her up from the groomers one day, and they were like, "Something's different with Ruby," and we were like,
Really?
We're like,
What are you talking about?"
Like what?
like
bite
she
somebody?
goes no, she goes, her skin is so much softer, her hair is not as coarse, she's
Easier to
easier to
brush.
groom, she's more manageable, and she's not as agitated, because sometimes dogs can get agitated when
Oh,
they get
sure.
groomed, right? Because it's a lot of
Mind
maintenance,
you, on the
right?
way to the groomer.
Yes.
It's like they know
Yeah.
if they're going to the vet or the groomer.
Exactly. And so she's the first one that noticed, and we're like, well, we're trying out this product on her. We're thinking about starting a company. And she's like, oh my gosh, do not stop that. She goes, it has made the biggest difference. And I can totally tell my dogs that their owners take extra care and pride in what they're feeding their dog, and the ones that are like, not neglected by any stretch, but maybe aren't just on a regular, whatever that diet is that their vet is recommending or something like that. And she's like, it has made the biggest difference in what I can tell.
So Gordon, she was our first, I guess, groomer in St. Louis.
Yeah, so she
that
carries it in
offers
her
the
salon
products.
now.
Yeah,
Because she
so-
noticed such
And
a
we're
big
always open to
difference.
more groomers too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We sell at wholesale, so there's a retail price on Amazon, but we also sell wholesale.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So if someone's listening and they're hearing that their dog, is having skin issues or digestion problems, what would you say to them?
I would say, don't wait. Try it. We even have a bundle with both products on Amazon, and you can subscribe and save, and there's a savings when you buy the bundle. But I wouldn't wait. I would try it. We've got the delicious salmon flavor for the skin and coat, and we've got the chicken flavor for the daily gut health, because a lot of times pets suffer in silence because they can't say, I don't feel good, or my tummy hurts, or I'm really itchy. This is not normal. Like, this is not me just scratching because I have a scratch or I have an itch. It's something that needs to be addressed.
And I know you can't solve this. Sorry.
It's
Go
okay.
ahead and
No,
finish.
I was
I'll
going to
come
say
back
one
to
thing
it.
I was going to add is we put daily intentionally in the name, because it's a daily product.
It's not a rescue.
It's not a rescue.
quick
It's not
rescue
a
product.
situational.
It's a product
something
designed
just like us as humans
for longevity.
It's something you need to be taking every single day.
Sure, absolutely.
Now, some people are, I'm sorry, Kelly.
No,
Some
go.
people do get results in the first couple of days. Some people, it takes a couple weeks. It all really
know.
just depends on your dog
True.
and
Yeah.
what you're trying to overcome and accomplish and solve as far as what their
So we
problem
have
is.
hardwood floors, and I think that's where I noticed it
Yeah.
first. Was like I was like,
Yeah.
there is not as much hair on this floor as there used
Yeah.
to be. I mean, they'd come and clean the house, and then it was like 4
Hours?
days later.
No, not 4 hours.
Yeah, there was this hair
Sunshine.
everywhere, but it's like, yeah, it was quite noticeable.
But I'm one of those that I do take the time. I do a big crock pot, and I do a roast and green beans and carrots and sweet potatoes, and I do all that for their food. That's a little ridiculous. I know. I have to go to the store on the way home, actually, because Gordon goes, you just used the last one. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're out
Yeah.
already. But how do you what's sad is you have this wonderful product. How does it, and I know that's probably a bad question to ask because you can't help that, but what do you say to people that are out there and there's a lot of bad foods for dogs.
There
a
is.
lot of bad food. And I watch
Just think about the bad food they put in the bad stuff they put in our
know.
food.
It's the same with pets, same with dogs.
It's probably
Yeah.
worse.
So you have this amazing product that's helping
It
their
is worse
belly.
because
Right.
there's a lot of meat byproducts that are worse. Yeah.
Yeah, you have this amazing product. I would imagine it's probably going to help, but really want to say to pet owners, really think about what you're putting in your pets' bellies, because there's just a lot of, if you're going to take the time to have a dog, take the time to care what you're feeding it. I think sometimes just, they just give it whatever. I mean, feed it your house scraps then if your food's good, but if you're going to take the time to really make sure what's going in your puppy's bellies,
No, exactly, and you're not wrong. And Scott and I were just talking on the way here. It's like, just think of our schedules and all the things that we accomplish in a day, right? And all the craziness that we've got going on. Well, to our dogs, we are their only thing.
Oh,
and so
we're their whole life.
We're their whole life. So why would we not want to give them the best that we can so that they can continue giving us their best?
I mean, when you look at it, it might be, you could look at a bag of dog food and think, oh my gosh, $80, $90, $100 or something like that. But that's like a month's supply or something, it's
Right.
nothing when you look at that on a daily, so I really think that, definitely check into your product and make a difference in your pet's life so that they don't live long enough as it is. I mean,
Exactly.
it's what in the world happened upstairs when he said, let's let a parrot live for 92 years, but we're only going to let a dog be
Talking
here
about
for
the
like,
big man,
I'm
Pat?
talking to the big guy. And we're only going to give a dog, maybe 8 to, if you're
8 to
lucky,
12.
my
8 to
dog's
12.
17 years old right now, Louis, and he jumps around and acts like
Louis'
he's
not going anywhere.
He's going to outlive me.
He's so cute,
He
though.
is like, you keep poor little thing losing his eyesight, though. That's really, that's hard when, that
Sure.
starts happening. But he's still jumping
Well,
around like crazy.
We've learned a healthy dog's going to live happier and about 2.5 years longer.
Kind of like a happy
And that's
wife,
the
a
longevity.
happy life, or the husband.
That's the longevity side that I mentioned kind of in the beginning. That's important to us as people, but also
Yeah.
to your pets.
Yeah.
So you have the gut health,
Yes.
and you have the skin and coat,
Yes.
daily skin and coat. So it's great that you have just a couple products and not all these millions of products. But is there anything on the horizon of something to come with these two?
We're always brainstorming.
But we purposely started with daily skin and coat because it addresses the number one issue why your pets go to
The vet is skin issues, whether it
the
be
gut,
hot
so
spots,
that fixes
itching.
the outside, the gut fixes the inside. There are other products out there, but we kind of like being a boutique company. We don't want to have a large product line. We want to do one thing or two things really, really well
and
Yeah.
get to the root
that makes
cause.
sense.
and get to
Right.
the root cause.
We don't want to be a
The
Band-Aid.
more you kind of throw out there, the more the consumer gets confused and
We just want to
and
keep it
we
simple
wanna
for the
keep
pet
it
owners.
simple,
They've got enough
keep it
going on.
easy.
It's true, and keeping it simple is a good thing. And our Olive had 41 ailments when we adopted her,
Oh, wow.
and they were due to stomach and nervousness and stress. Knock on wood, she's super healthy. Besides the little limp she had, which is miraculously gone.
Gone.
So
That's awesome.
I hope that stays gone. So we have to ask the question of the day to you.
Yes.
And if your pet could
talk. Yeah.
what would
Ruby.
Ruby.
What would
Yeah.
Ruby?
Let's put her up there while we're
What
waiting.
would Ruby tell us about you?
Well, what would she tell us about? Probably that we don't feed her enough snacks and we don't cuddle enough.
Which
Because if
is all
she
you
could
do,
talk,
probably.
she would be like, let's make a snack and let's cuddle.
Bring snacks, let's cuddle.
Olive says, "Make
rub
room.
my
I'm coming in
belly.
the middle."
And tell me I'm
Tell
pretty.
me I'm pretty.
Tell me I'm pretty.
Yeah, so,
More so than what you do already.
Exactly.
All right,
Yeah.
so little rapid fire questions here. You can say fetch or you can say forget it. Let's see how you do. To the two of you, you can answer at the same time if you would like.
uh-oh.
Dog sleeping in the bed.
That's hard.
So you want to forget it, but you end up fetching.
It depends on when she's been to the groomer.
Yeah, because we live out in the country and she loves to
country?
get dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
So
that is a
she's-
little bit
if-
different.
if-
Unless,
Yeah.
like ours, it just goes to the
When
astroturf
she
field.
she
Ruby doesn't-
smells
yeah, she's not
when
a
she
shedder,
smells like
but
dirt,
if she smells like
she's not
dirt,
sleeping with
yeah,
us.
So
Olive, it doesn't matter how many baths she has. She's like having a potbelly pig in the house.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
All right. Fetch or forget it. Matching dog and owner outfits.
Oh,
Forget it.
it.
Bacon flavored supplements.
fetch that.
We would fetch it, but we don't. Yeah.
Pumpkin spice for dogs.
Forget
Probably
it.
forget
In
it.
life,
We don't do
forget it.
that ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Ruby a pet influencer on TikTok?
Not yet, but we
We've
were
talked
just
about
talking
that.
about that.
Ruby definitely
Do you
needs to be
think she
such
should
a...
I
be?
think
Yes,
she needs
she
her own little thing
Oh,
going on.
yes, she does.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you like off-leash dog parks?
Sure, as long as they're well behaved.
Yeah, I'm nervous around other dogs. I don't want to get their fleas, ticks, or have someone bite my dog.
There's been some by us that are fenced, so.
But it can still be off leash.
Yeah,
She's just
yeah.
saying,
Do you like dog parks?
We live on 4 acres, so Ruby's
have your
got
own dog
plenty,
park. She
has her own dog
plenty
park.
of-
We'll come over
plenty
and
of
enjoy
space.
yours.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Raw food diet.
Sure, we support anything that the pet parent feels is the best for their dog.
Dog birthday parties.
Yeah, fetch it.
We've not done that,
Yeah,
but
I felt a little guilty we didn't have one for Aloe. Essential oils and baths for your Ruby.
Oh my goodness.
she does get a little scent.
Yeah, she does
after-
have. She does have a little essential
And when
oils
she's
in her
too
bath.
much, we call her
Yes.
stinker doodle. So when she's too much
Stinkerdoodle.
stinker doodle, we give her a little spray.
And would you wear swim trunks with your dog's picture on it like I got Gordon?
Of course you would.
Yeah, I would. I've got a T-shirt.
You got a
but I don't know.
t-shirt?
Probably swim trunks. Yeah.
Well, the show is gone.
Why
to
not
the
have
dogs
fun
now.
with it?
Yeah.
Why not have fun with it?
So
Well-
Gordon's got that.
There, that's
Yeah.
Gordon's trunks.
That-
that
I
he
don't
was
have a
sporting.
yeah.
She
They're-
did one of those things that this is what you're getting.
Yeah, because it didn't come in. I'm so
Yeah.
mad. It was supposed to be here for Father's Day.
Oh.
That was hard to
So-
see with that light.
Oh,
here,
I'm sorry.
but-
That light
no,
is a little
but-
bit
but it
blinding.
was-
but
yeah, I did.
there
yeah.
they are.
But
There
you-
they are
but you
again.
did- but
so
you
for
did
those
show
that are
that
listening
earlier.
on radio, there are swim trunks with Hawaiian tropical leaves,
Yeah.
and out of the leaves are English Bulldog's head olive.
Super cute. Super
all
cute.
over them. There's like
Yeah,
what 10
yeah.
heads on those shorts, so there's quite a few of them.
Yes.
So Kari Scott Montgomery, thank you so much for coming in, talking about your canine innovations, your daily skin, and your daily gut health. Olive is on them, so is Louie, and they have definitely made a difference in their lives. So if you have a dog out there that is having any problems, or really if they're not having any problems yet and you don't want them to, because it's over time, if you have a new dog in the home, it's just a matter of time from grass and being outdoors and things that happen, that their stomach, their skin, a lot of the dogs lose their hair and have those hot patches and that. They're really hard to cure once they get them. So if you can start it early to keep them from getting the ailments, even better, right?
Exactly. You
Yeah.
can start as early as 12 weeks.
And again, they can go to Amazon,
Yep.
Canine Innovations,
Yes.
put that in
Yeah.
there, and it's going to pull up for them, and they can find out more. And then, of
Exactly.
course, Chewy. Pretty soon you'll be able to find that
Yeah.
on Chewy as well. So,
And one thing we're still looking for, because we've been searching, is we want to do a give back locally. And we haven't really found that right partner yet.
ooh, that's a
So if
great
any of your
idea.
So
listeners
if you guys or
know
any
of
of your
anyone
listeners
local,
know, we've been kind of searching and kind of seeking. That's something that I've done for a long time. I've chaired a
give
nonprofit
back.
before, and so we're looking to give back kind of on the canine
Well,
side.
we
But
know
we're
a
just looking for the
lot
right partner
of different
here.
out there, so we will definitely
Yeah,
send some
absolutely.
suggestions. And
No,
if
we would-
somebody has
yeah, we
that,
appreciate
where
that.
would they send those suggestions to your,
yeah, you can go to our email, just
or go
Kari.
to Canine
Yeah.
Innovations,
Go to
even
Canine
on
Innovations.
Instagram, or
Yeah.
and
Yep,
put those
DM
on
us,
there.
or they can go to our website.
Yeah, so if
Exactly.
there's some charities out there, that's wonderful. We'll definitely post
Yeah,
it because
thank you.
they can't have enough support and help with whether it be volunteering or supporting monetarily. So that's a wonderful. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for giving back. All right, we're going to come back with the last segment of the show in your city right here on the LouInfo.com. We're going to hear what Kat Mues has to say because she has what's rocking in the city for this weekend. And wow, are there a lot of bands that are out
Always.
there
It's
playing.
Incredible
So-
how many bands are playing.
Yeah, so we'll see what's going on there. Of course, go to LouInfo.com. You can stream all the shows. If you really want to have some fun, you can just binge watch. Right? And your city show will be right back on 590 AM and also the new Lou information station on LouInfo.com. segment, and it's In Your City Show right here at the Lou Information Station on louinfo.com. So we're back. It's the last part of the happy hour. Hope you're enjoying the end of your day, or maybe it's the start of your day. Maybe you're heading into work, so maybe you shouldn't have that cocktail before you go to work, but whatever makes float your boat.
Before you go to work?
Before you go to work.
You to go to
If you
work.
have a personality, I always
They
say.
have those businessmen lunches all the time.
That's true. Why not? So this is useless information, but do you know how many babies were born in a year in Antarctica?
Antarctica? I'm going to guess a lot because they really don't have a whole lot to do there.
But it is cold. And you know how it is when it's cold.
Right, so you got to snuggle and get warm.
Oh, I was just thinking cold. Just cold all the way around. And maybe that might get in the way. Guess how many? Population's only around 5,000. It's actually only
it's only
1,000.
5,000?
So it's only 1,000 certain part of the time of the year, but in the summer it goes higher to 5,000. But usually it's people because they're on assignments and jobs and surveying and doing weird things in Antarctica.
So how many babies a year?
Only 11 were
gonna-
born.
I was going to guess. You
Oh,
didn't give me a
sorry, you
chance.
asked me. I
I
thought
was
you wanted
asking
an
a question.
I thought you wanted an answer.
Okay.
You did say a whole lot, so you would have been way off.
No, I was when you said populate.
Of course, you think it's cold. There's nothing else.
when
to
you said population,
it doesn't matter
I was gonna
what the temperature is.
I
You
was
think
probably
it's
gonna
something
go
to
maybe
do.
50.
Well, that still wasn't very many. But
Yeah,
yeah, just
that's like
11 babies. How would you like to say you were born in Antarctica? To me, all I see is ice, snow, and polar bears, and I never want to go. I don't like to be cold.
No, I don't either. That's why old people move to Florida.
So old people, we're gonna have to move to Florida. I do have a fun place that you can go as a like a little hidden gem. Have you ever been to Klondike Park in St. Charles?
Yes, I have.
Makes me think of the ice cream, a Klondike bar. Isn't there a little jingle with that? Have you had a Klondike? I don't know.
There is, but I can't
A little
remember how
jingle
it
with
goes.
it. 250 acre Forma Silica Sand Quarry transformed into a beautiful county park along the Missouri River. Fishing crystal white silica sand. I did not know that. It's right there stretched along the iconic Katy Trail, so hiking, biking. It's near where Lewis and Clark camped back in 1804, in case you are interested in the history part of it. But it's kind of off the radar. It's it's very peaceful. It's quiet. It's one of those areas that's not crowded with Plus, it's so big, of course, that helps as well. There's a swimmable lake, shady trails, wildlife. Hopefully not bears as you're walking along, but I'm sure they could be in there somewhere. But perfect for. Do you like to go to parks? I mean, we really don't. I'm asking you like we don't live together.
I
but
do. No, I do like to go to parks. I like. I've never been to Elephant Park.
I've never heard of
Or
Elephant
Elephant
Park.
Rock. Elephant Rock.
Elephant Rock.
Yeah.
Where's
It's in
Elephant?
Missouri somewhere. I don't know where it's at.
Well,
It-
we just
Google
brought that
time.
up randomly. I don't know
We
where it
need to
is,
just
but
have
I've
like
never
a,
been there
Now
before.
time for Google time. Google time.
It's Google time. But so yeah, Klondike Park, it's a short drive from St. Peter's if you're familiar with the St. Charles area. And I love the whole thing about the white sand quarry. I bet that's absolutely gorgeous to be able
It's
to see
Elephant
that.
Rock State Park,
Okay, where's that? at?
Bellevue, Missouri. It's an
Bellevue.
hour and 28 minutes from Kirkwood, Missouri.
So that's a short destination trip. But when it comes to a park, that's a nice way to be able to enjoy your day, bring a picnic, and not have to spend a lot of money. That's super cool. I wish we could show that actually up on the visual. I just got to see it for myself.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Cliff Cave Park? It's kind
Wow,
of a
looks like an
bonus in
elephant.
Jim. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to show that next time. That's an incredible picture. It looks Elephant Park. If you want to Google it,
Actually,
literally
I think
the
that's,
photo.
Actually, I think that's from another country.
Never
it just
mind,
looks
he
like
lied.
an elephant.
Quit
And you don't
lying.
know what's AI'd anymore.
That's
That's
true
the
too.
problem.
That could
you
be
see a
fake.
photo and you go, is that AI?
Okay, so I asked you a question as usual. Perfect
I wasn't
husband, you're not listening. Cliff Cave Park. Have you heard of that before?
Yes.
Gosh, I'm
I've
missing
heard of
out
it.
on.
I don't know
There's
if
so
I've
many
been
things
there.
I keep finding out that I didn't know about. That's 525 acre preserve, woodland trails. There's a historic cave that was once used by pioneers, and even who would be Missouri's pioneer from a long time ago?
Daniel Boone,
Well, yeah, that'd be one of them.
Lewis and Clark.
No, should I tell you? We only have a
Well, I
few.
just guessed the two most popular around.
You didn't say Jesse James.
Jesse James. Is he a pioneer?
Well, I don't know. Is that
Or
the
he's
wrong
just
word?
a thug. He's pretty much just a thug from the Western days.
I'm sure he pioneered his way along the trail, didn't he?
I don't know if he was pioneering or just running. It's
kinda-
he was probably running all the time.
Running from the sheriff's.
I don't know if he
was he running or
pioneering.
on a horse? But yeah, so I never heard of that. That is overlooking the Mississippi River in 525. I feel like, where have I been, living under a rock myself? Because I've lived in, St. Louis, Missouri my whole life, and there's so many things that I haven't been to or don't even know about in my own backyard.
We just had someone on with the book, 50 places in Missouri that we.
I know, which is really cool. Which she didn't leave us the book.
We
That
got
was
one
rude.
coming, I hope.
I would just take it from her next time. Actually, I did make a call and asked Marla, could you send us that book so we can keep it in our library? Look at the cool books that we do have, actually.
We do have a lot of cool
I
books.
love, we have, so this one here is Missouri Illustrated Timeline, which our friend John, I called him my
John
friend.
Brown?
Yeah, and all of a sudden I just went, oh my gosh, what's John's last name? John
was
Brown.
was he on Fox or Channel
I think
5?
he was on Channel 5, and then he went to Florida. Then he came back and was back on again, and then moved back to Florida again. So he's not here, but
He's
has
written
that.
2 books, actually.
Yes, and then I don't know if we have it here at home, but we also did the interview, the fire stations.
Right.
That's super cool in Missouri. So we've got it, and then we have the book that
The
was.
Mississippi Nights.
Now that was a cool. We
From
really
the in-laws.
we enjoyed that interview with Mississippi Nights because that brought a lot of history back to you in your band days and all the bands that came through Mississippi Nights. I mean, incredible. And I don't feel like because of social media and the the YouTube and all that, we don't really have those bands anymore that are coming town to play. They're just playing in the big, I guess whatever you call the amphitheaters or the concert halls. What am I, born under a rock? I can't think of the names. You're busy Googling right now. So
I was
you're not
looking
paying
up, I
attention
can't
to me.
remember Joe's name because we got Joe from Blueberry Hill, his book.
Yes, that's fantastic
Yeah,
too. We
it's
enjoyed.
about the Walk of Fame, about all of the people that are on the Walk of Fame in Del Mar.
When you sit down and you talk to Joe, who just about owns everything in the Del Mar Loop, he is really, we'll have him on again to talk with him. The things that he has built on Del Mar is incredible.
The people he's met, too.
Oh my gosh, it's absolutely amazing the people that he has met along the way. But I guess what we need to do right
Joe
now.
Edwards. My
Joe
gosh,
Edwards.
couldn't-
Oh, were you
didn't
trying to
come
think of his
until just
last
now.
name? Yeah, Joe Edwards. So we'll have to have him on, talk about his book again and all
Maybe
the
we
people
need
that
to
he's met.
get Kari, the Montgomerys, to invent something for us for brain health.
Maybe we just need to start taking the daily skin and gut health though, because the stuff that she named in it, I definitely need it. Okay, we need to bring on Cat Mues and find out what's rocking in the city. So can we go ahead and put that on?
Yes, and listen closely because you'll hear about 150 bands in less than a minute and a half.
You are gonna know where you are gonna go this week to check out all the great bands. Are we ready for it?
Hi gang, Cat Mues here, and here's what's going on this weekend in music. Friday, start off your weekend right with Tony and the Saints. They're at Charlotte Pub where all the best musicians play and the music matters. Gorilla Theory will be at the Boathouse on the North Shore. And Hallenbach will be at BS Bar and Grill. Shangri-La will be at Salvatore's. Right next door, Cherry Bomb will be at Rebar in St. Charles. Solus Armada will be at Brewski's in O'Fallon. And Samurai 5 will be at St. Charles Music House. And the Johnny Henry Band will be at KT Saloon. Saturday, Escape is back at Irma Jeans. Almost Famous will be at Boulevard Park in Lake St. Louis. And Bad Habit will be in Judy's Velvet Lounge at River City Casino. Money Shot will be at Fast Eddie's. The Nightmare, the Alice Cooper Experience. And Slow Ride, the Foghat Tribute, will be at Kenny's in Barnhart. Rock Bottom and all their shenanigans will be at Charlotte Club where all the best musicians play. Bad Tattoo will be at Salvatore's. Right next door, Bad Scarlet will be at Rebar in St. Charles. Samurai 5 will be at Nancy's Night Shift. And Clueless will be at the Pump House. 40 Miles to Vegas will be at KT Saloon. And Leslie Craig will be at Cybergs on Gravois. Bone Daddy will be at St. Charles Music House. Sunday Fun Day. Pretty Weeds will be at KT Saloon. And Sonic Scarlet will be at the Boathouse on the North Shore. Kevin Wayne Gruen will be at Tucker's Pub. And Positive Energy will be at Parkside Grill. Live music is better. Thank you for supporting our artists and venues. Check out STL Roar Monday nights from 7 to 9 and have a safe week. Thank you.
Lots of fun going on. It was fun when we were at the boathouse this weekend, and that lady walked up to Ed Callison. Are you with Pink Houses? Is
Ed
that the name?
Callison's like seeing Elvis. You know, it's like it's like seeing Elvis when you're out.
But there is a lot of cool bands. So I just got a text message from Laura Kringle, who is an artist, and we're excited because there's going to be in the station here a huge mural painted on the wall. So we're gonna have a really cool selfie wall. So I was like peeking, showing you a picture of it. So it's pretty cool. I'm anxious to see it turn out and be on the wall and have all the fun selfies going with it. So, you know, what were you going to say?
You're
What are
getting
you
a
telling
text
us?
message, and I'm getting a text
Where'd
message.
you get a text message from?
I get a text message from Amy Bratton. Did you see the invite on Facebook for July 12th? Mike's hosting a 50th birthday party for me. He needs a head count. Amy, do you not know? Your son works at this radio station. Do you not know that I'm doing a show between 4 and 6? And she's texting me.
She just wanted me to mention her name.
That's what it was. She just wanted to get on. She wanted to get on air. Oh, let me see real quick if we have.
So yes, I will check my schedule, Amy, and we will see if we can make it.
All right, so.
That's obviously not a surprise 50th birthday party.
Nope, not when she's checking it out. Let's see if we have. I haven't been very good at checking out my my
Your
answer.
Facebook page?
No, I haven't been. I haven't been looking at it. Looks like I missed. Andrea Early says her dog would say, "Give me my snacks." And Greg Football, he says he's an animal lover.
Give me my snacks.
Give me my snacks. And he says they would say they love me. So.
Remember the fish from McDonald's? Give
Huh?
me that fish.
Yeah.
Give me that fish. Remember the fish fillet sandwich? It was like,
That's true. All right, so let's pick, let's see, what came to, all right, so we got a book when Michael Steinberg was on the show. Quotes, The Wit and Wisdom of Michael Steinberg, an updated collection. So I just opened it up, and it's kind of cool. So I don't know if you can see it very well, but every quote kind of comes with a really fun picture. And there's pictures of him. He did talk about that he was a chubby little guy when he was little, and he was. It wasn't fibbing. But so this one says, think again, because you may change your mind. It's true.
that is true.
You're not paying attention to me. Get off your
Because I'm
phone.
looking up my quotes that I've saved throughout the days.
Oh, okay. Because
gonna
I
go
thought
with
you
my
were being
quotes.
rude right now,
No,
not
I'm-
listening to me. And then the other one that pulled up, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. These are great. What do you have? Did you write these quotes, or there's a quote that you
They're
saved?
quotes that I've saved, but these are a couple of my favorites. It's not about thinking outside the box. It's about realizing there is no box. Realizing there is no box. You don't have to think
There is for
outside
some
the
people.
box. So in other words, if you're thinking outside the box, there's limitations. But if there is no box, there's no limitations.
But you're a one box guy. You work in one box only, so there is boxes.
Well, it's one
And you're
box
in
at
one.
a time.
One box at a time. You
the
told
other
me
one
that
I
all the
like is
time.
life is not a matter of holding good cards, but of playing a poor hand well.
Speaking of cards.
We're almost out of time. Thanks for joining us here on the In Your City
Poor
Show.
Gordon to save his life, cannot beat me and Jen Rummy. I even try to be nice, and I absolutely even apologize that I go out and Jen Rummy him again and
'Cause she
slap the card
cheats.
down.
She
I
cheats.
swear to you,
Kelly cheats.
I never cheat in my life. I am not a cheater. You are just horrible.
Why do you close your eyes? They say people that close their eyes when they talk are lying.
Did I close my eyes?
Yeah. You go,
No, I did
don't
not.
cheat, and you close
Because
your
I'm
eyes.
passionately thinking about it and saying it. I really do not cheat, and you cannot win.
So Kelly says,
And not by a
no,
little,
no,
by
we're
a
gonna,
lot.
We're gonna break this. We only got like a minute left. So Jen Rummy, is it okay to hold all your cards and then just drop them? She says you're not supposed to hold your cards and then drop them and go out because you should be able to play. Well, that's
No.
part of the strategy is not allowing the
Okay.
player to play off your cards.
You're lying right now because I only hold them to figure out my strategy, and as soon as I know I'm using this or that, then I lay down my kings or whatever it is.
Right, but you always say I'm not supposed to do that, but
Oh
then
my gosh,
you do
he
it.
is just so full of. That's what you call a poor loser. So poor loser. We'll be back tomorrow with some more fun, some great guests, and hopefully you've had some fun, met some great people because we love learning about what's new out in St. Louis and around us. So we'll be back tomorrow with In Your City Show right here on lootinfo.com, the new Loot Information Station. Be sure to subscribe, and I can talk better tomorrow.
Information.
Yeah. Until
Yeah.
then, cheers.